Sophisticated ladies. A critic for Time magazine wrote, Gregory Hines wields the fastest spats in the East. Little wonder, considering that Hines has been tap dancing since he was 3 years old. But he's also more than just a hoofer. Over the past 3 years, he's established himself as an accomplished actor as well. His major film break came with A Cotton Club, Francis Ford Coppola's $50 million extravaganza about the famed Harlem nightclub. As Sandman Williams, Hines found himself in the shoes of his childhood. Hines was born in Harlem, and he grew up to the music of Duke Ellington, the same music that made up the score for the movie. Last year, he teamed up with another dance legend, Mikhail Baryshnikov, in White Nights. Hines played a disillusioned Vietnam vet living in Russia. Together, the two men plan a daring escape to the West.
Tonight.
His latest film, Running Scared, broke the mold of the other two films. Hines, the dancer, didn't tap a single shoe. This time, he and Billy Crystal played two fast-talking Chicago cops looking for the good life, early retirement as owners of a Miami nightclub.
You're gonna what? Quit, leave, depart, vamos, Amsquare.
Retire. This is our official 30-day notice.
Let me tell you something. When you've been cops this long, you are not fit for anything else. What are you going to do? Open a bar?
We're looking for some new career challenge.
Yeah, something with a future. Show.
Mr. Hines is in Toronto this week, and Ms. Pringle spoke with him yesterday.
So you're a big movie star. What are you doing in a cabaret show? Why are you here?
Well, I actually like the idea of traveling around the country and doing this live act that I developed, and you know, just finding out who my audience is. You know, put my name out there and see who shows up, if anybody shows up. And also, it's an opportunity to experience the process of working live in front of people. You know, which is very different than making a movie, and I like it. I like it.
And what kind of response do you get? Who does show up? Who is your audience?
Well, it seems that, you know, it's a pretty wide range, you know, young people, older people, whites, blacks. It's nice. It makes me feel good. And it's my beginnings. Actually, that's what I began, you know. When I was a kid, my brother and I had a tap dance act, and we would travel around the country working wherever we could. And then my father joined the act, and we worked nightclubs. And so I remember it as being enjoyable, and it is again.
Because you were here before when you were a kid, working in strip joints and stuff, not big nightclubs.
Well, and actually there wasn't a strip joint, it was a theater, the casino theater, and they had a little burlesque happening.
Let's just talk about the movies you've done. The last one, Running Scared, you didn't do any dancing in. Did that scare you?
No, you know, I've actually done 6 movies now, and only 2 of them I've danced in. And I like the idea of doing dancing roles and non-dancing roles, partially because of something that Gene Kelly said to me once. He told me that he felt it was important to establish oneself as an actor, so that when you can't dance anymore, at least you have a credible reputation as an actor and you can go for parts. And also because it's very difficult to mount a film with dance in it. You know, our films now are rooted in reality, you know. We can't do the kind of movies that they used to do where, you know, a guy could say, geez, you know, you're such a beautiful woman, when can we see each other again? And she'd say, oh, you know, I don't know. And then music would happen. And we wouldn't say, geez, where's that music coming from? We would just go with it.
And dance.
Yeah, nowadays, you know, you have to hit a tape recorder, or, you know, a radio has to be playing so people, you know what's happening and it makes sense. And it's just very difficult to get a reason to dance. So for that reason, I try to develop projects that I can dance in, and you know, I'm very aggressive about going after something that I feel I could be right for.
What was it like working with Baryshnikov?
Wasn't too hot.
He's overrated.
Right. It was great. Yeah, he's just a great guy. And you know, when the project was brought to me, 1982, It was a concept that Taylor Hackford had, and you know, he asked me if I would be interested in working with Mikhail Baryshnikov, and that he had asked Mikhail Baryshnikov if he was interested in working with me. And in 1982, I was just really getting rolling with my career, and I was honored and I was flattered to just be mentioned in the same project with Mikhail. And
you call him Mike.
yeah, but you know, when I call him Mike, people don't know who I'm talking about. You know, I remember we were shooting White Nights. You know, I'd ask somebody, "Is Mike around?" They didn't know. You know, Mike who? You know. But it was just a great treat. You know, and he's just a great person. In addition to his great artistic ability, he's just a great man.
So the two of you just sat there with your mouths open watching each other perform?
When we weren't drinking vodka, that's what we did.
Does it surprise you that your career, your life has worked out so well? You started as a child performer and then dropped out, became a hippie, and then got it back together, and now, you know, we're going stronger than ever.
Well, you know, even though I dropped out and I was a hippie, you know, I felt like my life was together at that point. You know, I had split up with my first wife, and I met the woman that I'm married to now, and I discovered the joys of single parenthood with my daughter, and it was a good period. It was a real growthful period for me, because I felt like for most of my life up until that point, I'd always been taken care of, you know, by managers and my parents and agents and publicists, and I learned how to take care of myself, and you know, I think I just evolved to this point. And also, you know, at a certain point, I felt like I understood how to be aggressive and how to handle rejection and how to even be aggressive after rejection. And I feel like I learned a lot, you know, up until now. You know, I feel like everything has helped me get to this interview.
And this is the high point so far.
This is it.
But your family is very important to you. You work with your own family very hard at keeping that together.
Well, you know, it's a great thing. I mean, my wife and I, I have a 16-year-old daughter by my first marriage, and she has a 14-year-old daughter by her previous marriage, and then we have Zachary, who's 4 almost. And it's just a great thing. I mean, in the last few years, it's been the main thing that's kept me in touch with what's important and what's real. Because, you know, I mean, like interviews, you know, I do interviews sometimes, a lot of them, and in an interview, you know, I talk about myself, you know, and after a while, you know, I just think I'm the greatest thing that ever happened, and it's the family that helps me come back. You know, my wife will just, as soon as I come in from interviews, she'll say, you know, I need you to empty the garbage, and the girls need some homework help, and, you know, that's what's real, and so I've been fortunate. I've really been fortunate in that.
Can Zachary dance?
No, he's into, right now he's into spitting, which is good, because before he was into throwing things at people. Now he's into just spitting on them. But every now and then, if he sees some breakdancing, he'll get down on the floor and spin around.
What's next for you? Jelly Roll Morton?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a workshop for what we hope will be a Broadway musical, and in December, and we've been developing that for about 3 years. So I'm looking forward to that, because I haven't done a musical in about 4 or 5 years.
It's lovely to meet you.
Thanks. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.